Hello everyone and welcome back. So today in this video we will be discussing the lesson the Stone Age and Earliest Society, and in this chapter we will be focusing on the life of early man, that is how they lived, their way of living and how they moved towards progress and development, and we will also talk about Stone Age, right? So let's get started. So, children, according to the historians, according to the belief of the historians, it's said that humans appeared 1.5 million years ago on the earth, right? The human beings first appeared on the earth around 1.5 millions of years ago, and the development of human beings on this earth is an interesting and a continuous process. So, early humans were food gatherers, they were hunters, they were basically nomads. Now, who are nomads? People who do not lead a settled life. So, early humans, they moved from one place to another place. They did not lead a settled life. They kept moving around in search of food, right? So they did not lead a settled life. They were hunters, they were food gatherers, they gathered food and they hunted animals. They did not have a permanent place to live. So wherever there was shortage of food, once they hunted and gathered food in an area, and once there was a shortage over there, then they shifted to another place. So this is how they led their life. They considered it safer to move in groups. They did not, they always lived in groups, right? Why? Because they considered it to be safe rather than moving alone. It is always, good. It is always safe to stay in groups. This is what they believed, and therefore, wherever they went, they moved in groups. Early humans led a primitive life. They remained without clothes, and during winter time, when they felt cold during winter season, they wore animal skins and leaves and the bark of trees to protect themselves. They used to spend their nights on trees or in rock shelters and caves. So they did not have any settled place. Sometimes they lived in the caves. Sometimes they spent nights on trees, or they took shelter under huge rocks. So this is how they used to lead their life. Now, the next point of discussion is, how do we know about these people? How do we know about their way of living, how they led their life? So it is through evidences in the form of, we came to know about their life, about the life of earliest human beings from the evidences in the form of stone, tools and weapons. So during the prehistoric period, human beings protected themselves against the wild animals. Of course, they lived in forests, they lived in jungles, and there were wild animals too. So they protected themselves from these wild animals with the help of weapons, right? With the help of weapons like spears and arrows, which were made of stones. They used stone weapons such as spears and arrows, and they attached handles of bones or wood to these spears and arrows, and with the help of these weapons they protected themselves from the wild animals. They also hunted animals with these weapons. So basically, these weapons were for hunting as well as for protection. The stones helped early humans in different ways. They were used to hunt animals, they were used to remove the skin of animals and cut meat and bones. So these stone weapons, they helped early humans. They hunted animals, now they have to remove the skin. So with the help of these stone tools, stone weapons, they removed the skin of animals, cut the meat and bones. And the stones were also used to cut trees and clear forests. So we see stones, they made a lot of use of these stone weapons. There's a wonderful information here. Who are hominids? So hominids, according to the scientists believe that hominids, they were not human beings, but they were similar to human beings. And most of the scientists think that human beings developed or evolved from them, right? So it's a wonderful information. Now next we move on to Stone Age. Now the next point of discussion is Stone Age. So let us first understand what is Stone Age, why is it called Stone Age. So this phase, this period is known as Stone Age because the main object, the most important object used by humans during this uh, phase was stone, and therefore this age, this time period has been termed as Stone Age, right? Now, the anthropologists have divided this Stone Age into three sub periods. I repeat, three sub periods, and this division is on the basis of development of different stone tools. They continuously brought development in the designs of the stone tools, isn't it? So this period has been divided, the anthropologists have divided Stone Age into three sub-periods, that is Paleolithic Age, Mesolithic Age and Neolithic Age. Paleolithic Age is also known as Old Stone Age. Mesolithic Age is also known as Middle Stone Age. And Neolithic Age, of course, as the name indicates, it is also known as New Stone Age, right? Now, let us focus on Paleolithic Age. Let us talk about Paleolithic Age in detail. That is the Old Stone Age. So, when we talk about Paleolithic Age, it is believed that the evolution of mankind started during this period, right? And it roughly began around 5 lakh BCE and ended around 10,000 BCE. And this period has been further divided into three phases again, right? And this period is divided into three phases on the basis of changes in climate and progress or development brought in stone tools which were used by early humans. So the three divisions are Lower Paleolithic Age, Middle Paleolithic Age and Upper Paleolithic Age. Lower Paleolithic Age is also known as Early Old Stone Age, and that is the earliest phase. Then Middle Paleolithic Age, this is also known as Middle Old Stone Age, and as the name indicates, Upper Paleolithic Age, it is the Upper Old Stone Age, that is the last phase. Now let us talk about Lower Paleolithic Age. So this age is considered as the formative age, and during this age many parts of earth were covered with ice, right? And the climate was extremely cold. So during this phase, during this time period, uh, the earth, maximum part of the earth was covered with ice, and of course this made the climate too cold. It was extremely cold, right? So geologists define this cold period as ice age, right? What is ice age? This age, the earliest phase, the earliest part of Paleolithic age, that is the Lower Paleolithic age, when the earth was covered with, maximum part of the earth was covered with ice, and it was extremely cold. So the geologists have defined this age as the Ice Age or Pleistocene period, right? The most common tool of this age was hand axe, which was mainly used for chopping trees and hunting animals. So which was the main tool used by people, by humans during this age? Of course, hand axe. And what was the purpose? For cutting trees, for chopping trees and for hunting animals. Therefore these tools are also known as choppers, right? Why? Because the purpose, main purpose was to chop the trees and to hunt the animals. In India, these tools are mainly found in Punjab and on the banks of river Narmada in Madhya Pradesh. So these tools, this axe, which was also known as a chopper, this was the most important tool used during this phase, that is Lower Paleolithic Age. Next phase is Middle Paleolithic Age. So the main tool of this period were the different types of borers and scrapers made of stone. So again, stone tools only, but see, gradually the designing is progressing, isn't it? Earlier it was just axe. Now they design bores and scrapers. So these tools have been found from different places in India, that include the banks of river Narmada in Madhya Pradesh and Son Valley in Punjab. After that, moving on to the Upper Paleolithic Age, right, which was the last phase of Paleolithic Age. So Upper Paleolithic Age is the final or the last phase of Ice Age, right? This is all Ice Age. And as I told you, why Ice Age? Because maximum part of the earth was covered with ice and it was extremely cold. So the climate change after this, by the end of this age, the climate changed drastically, or can be said it changed dramatically. From cold it became warm, right? So gradually the Ice age, it was almost the end of ice age. Why? Because the climate changed, and from extreme cold the earth became warmer. The tools used by humans during this age were blades and burins. So gradually, humans made progress, they made development in the tools as well. Initially, they used just axes, but now they have variety of tools, isn't it? Next, we move on to one of the most important discoveries of this time period, that is fire. So, the discovery of fire, this turned out to be a milestone, isn't it? It turned out to be a major discovery, right? Early man knew about light. They learned to light fire. They knew about light. They've seen lightning in the sky, isn't it? So they had an idea of light, but they did not know how to put up a fire, how to make fire. They did not know the process, right? So early men knew about fires. They saw natural fires and they saw lightning in the sky, but they did not know how to light a fire on their own. They did not know the process. So perhaps they might have rubbed stones and there were leaves which caught fire. Accidentally, they rubbed stones and the sparks fell on dry leaves which caught fire. Maybe this was a way. So this was a way how they got to know how to light fire, right? So, early humans soon discovered this and they could use fire to keep themselves warm. Fire turned out to be of great use. They lit fire which protected them from cold, isn't it? It kept them warm, and one of the most important thing was fire protected them even from wild animals. The wild animals, they were scared of fire and they ran away. So they discovered that the flesh, and one more most important thing, another very important discovery, they found that uh, the flesh of animals, when burnt in fire, they tasted better, right? So they discovered that the flesh of animals tasted much better when heated on fire, and therefore this is how they started the process of cooking. They learned cooking. So we see discovery of fire turned out to be a major turning point, right? So I hope it's clear till here. The chapter is clear till here. We'll meet again in the next session with the rest of the chapter. Thank you so much.